As an intro to today's topic, arc length and speed, and in particular the formulas above, consider the following example. There are two objects. Object A moves according to the following. X is cosine t, y is sine t, and the parameter interval is from 0 to 2 pi. Meanwhile, object B moves according to x equal cosine 3t, y equals sine 3t, parameter interval from 0 to 2 pi over 3. Now both trace the unit circle. Can see that here x squared plus y squared is cosine squared t plus sine squared t, and that's always 1. And likewise for b, x squared plus y squared is cosine squared 3t plus sine squared 3t, and that's equal to 1. And that the journey is the full unit circle, I can consider the initial and terminal points. Object A, when t is equal to 0, we're at the point 1, 0, and we travel counterclockwise. By the time t is 2 pi, we're back where we started. Likewise for object B, the initial point when t is 0 gives 1, 0. Travel counterclockwise. And by the time t reaches 2 pi over 3, the argument of cosine and sine is 2 pi again. So we've done a full circuit. Okay, so these curves are tracing the same path, but it's evident that B traces the curve with 3 times the speed of A, because the parameter interval is exactly 1/3 that of A. Now to see how this shows up in the formulas above, let's compute both the length and the speed. Of course, the lengths should be the same. They should be 2 pi in each case. Parameter interval is from 0 to 2 pi. I take square root of x prime squared plus y prime squared. So that gives minus sine of t squared plus cosine of t squared. Under the square root, that's 1. If I integrate a constant, it's just the constant times the width of the interval. And likewise for b, the parameter interval is just from 0 to 2 pi over 3. But under the square root, I have x prime, which is minus 3 sine 3t squared, using the chain rule, and y prime is 3 cosine 3t, quantity squared dt. Gives 9 sine squared 3t and 9 cosine squared 3t. Again, using the Pythagorean identity, that's 9 under the square root, and we see, well, the interval went 0 to 2 pi over 3. We get 2 pi over 3 times 3, which is 2 pi. So in each case, we get the same length, but the speed, you'll notice, the speed up here being exactly the integrand means that the speed of A is constant 1, and meanwhile the speed of B is constant 3. So I hope this helps to make sense a little bit of what's going on with these two formulas and how the speed plays a role in computing length.